Hey guys, welcome to the next session of a JDBC course for absolute beginners. And till now, we in JDBC we covered almost every topic. Like we performed the insert operation, select operation, and then we performed the callable statement, that is creating the stored procedure and calling the stored procedure in a JDBC. Then we performed the callable statement again, but in that we seen how we can pass the parameter to the stored procedure. Then we perform the update operation, and then at the end we perform a delete operation. Today in this session we are going to talk about how we can manage the transaction in HDBC. So before starting this topic, let me quickly explain you what is a transaction exactly. So over here, let me go to my MySQL client, and in this I am already logged into the MySQL client, and my database name is JDBC and my table name is student. So over here inside this JDBC database, I have one table that is called as a student. And if you see inside this student table, we have four columns, that is roll number, name, percentage and address. So this is the basic structure of this particular table. Now whenever we perform certain operations like insert, update or delete, so let's say if I perform insert operation, then it will insert one new row into this table. If I perform delete operation, then it will delete some rows from this table. And if I perform update operation, then it will change some of these values like name, percentage or address, like any value it will change according to the condition. So whenever we perform this kind of operation, that is insert, update and delete, the table structure or values inside the table gets changed, and whenever the values inside the table gets changed, we can say that we performed one transaction. So in simple words, whenever we are trying to perform an operation like insert, update and delete, and if this kind of operation is changing the table structure or values inside the table, then that means we are trying to perform one transaction. So in a database we need to manage those transactions, like we have multiple options in JDBC to manage the transactions, and managing the transaction is become very important when we are performing multiple operations simultaneously. So whenever we are performing some transactions or some queries parallelly, then in that we need to manage the transaction explicitly, because managing the transaction is very important while we are trying to perform multiple operations. So today in this session we are going to talk about the transaction management. So without wasting much more time, let me go to my this switch case, and over here let me try to add one new option. So let me try to add one new option, that is seventh option, which will be a understanding the transaction. So let me add that one quickly. So let me add 7, understanding transactions, like this. And let me as we have added the seventh option, we need to add one more case over here. So let me add case 7, like this. And whenever we will use case 7, we need to create one method so that that particular method will get called over here. So as of now, let me add break statement over here, like this, and let me create one method. So let me go to this end of this file, and after the delete record method, let me add one more method, that is public void transaction, like this. And this method will not take any parameter, so let me just keep this as it is. And this transaction method we need to call whenever user will ask for option number 7. So inside this, let me go to case 7, then we just need to use student database, which is object of this particular current class. So my class name is student database, and we have already created the object of this student database class over here. So we just need to use that class name or that object name, that is student database dot transaction, like this. Now let me save this one, and again let me go to the inside this transaction method. So over here we just need to understand the transaction. So we have already seen what is the definition of transaction, and in a simple words, like what is the transaction exactly. So over here, let me try to explain with one scenario. So let's suppose I have multiple operations, like I have insert operation and I want to insert 2 rows in a table. So for that, let me use queries like string sql1 is equals to, I'm just trying to write the query over here, and I'm just trying to use some static queries, like I'm not going to use the dynamic values. So we have already seen how we can pass the dynamic values and all to the insert queries and update queries. In this session, I'm just going to use one simple query so that it will not make any confusion. So let me use insert into student, and inside this let me give the bracket, opening bracket, and inside this we just need to mention the column name. So my column names are name, percentage, and address. I'm not going to provide the value for this roll number because this roll number is auto incremented and will be taken care by the MySQL. So we just need to provide the values for name, then percentage, and then at the end we just need to use address like this, and insert into student name, percentage, address, and values like this. So let me give the values as, again, opening bracket, and let me give the value as, let's suppose Sandeep, like this, and then percentage will be, let's suppose 76, and address will be, let's suppose, again let me give a single quote, and address will be the Pune, and let me just close the bracket like this, and at the end we just need to give the semicolon. So make sure you are giving everything in a correct manner because we have multiple commas, brackets, and single quotes over here. So let me just highlight this one and make sure you are writing the query in a exact this manner. So now over here we have this first query, and again let me just copy this one and let me just paste this one so that we can have two different queries. So let me make it as SQL 2 like this, and insert into student, and let me just change the values. So let's suppose, let me make it as, for example, let me make it as Sonali, and instead of this 76 let me make it as 86, and let me make it as Delhi like this. Now we have two different queries. Now my situation is I want to perform these two queries. So in such a cases, or in such a parallel, whenever we want to perform some operations parallelly, the transaction management is really very important. So over here we have just everything as it is, and we have just two queries. So let me perform these two queries. So how we can do this one? We just need to use prepared statement. So let me make it as let me create one instance of prepared statement. So how we can do that? We just need to use connection dot prepared statement, and inside this we just need to use SQL1. First of all, we need to perform the first query, and then we will perform the second query. So this connection dot prepare statement will return me the reference for prepared statement interface. So let me use that one. So prepared statement, which comes from java.sql package, prepare statement is equals to connection dot prepared statement like this one, and this connection dot prepared statement throws one exception. So we just need to add the throws declaration. So it will add the throws declaration like throws SQL exception. Now the query is created, and prepared statement is also created. Then we just need to execute the first query. So let me use prepared statement dot execute update like this one, and this execute update will try to execute the first query. Now in similar way we just need to perform the second query as well. So how we can do that? We just need to again use connection dot prepare statement, and again at this time we just need to pass SQL2 as a parameter, and then again it will give me the reference for this prepared statement. So I just need to use the previous one that we have already created like this one, like this. And now again we just need to use prepare statement dot execute update like this, and let me just save these things. And over here we have two different queries and we are trying to perform the two different queries with the help of prepared statement. So let me save everything, let me try to execute this program, and before that let me just go to my MySQL client and let me just show you what are the values exist in the table. So we have only one record, that is roll number 23 Raj. And now let me go back to this console and let me try to put the option as 7th option, and let's see what happens. So over here on the console we are not be able to get anything, so this is why, due to we haven't provided any message. But let me go to my MySQL client and let me see whether I am able to get the records or not. So yes, I am able to get the record, that is roll number 24, that is Sandeep, and roll number 25, that is Sonali. So we are able to get the record and records are inserted successfully. So now the two records are getting inserted successfully. So over here we are trying to perform these operations parallelly, and then let me just try to explain the real life example. So over here let me just make some mistake into these queries. So instead of this insert, so let me just make some typo over here and let me just remove this one. So again what will happen, it will try to perform the first operation and the first operation will get performed successfully, and it will try to perform the second operation, but in the second operation it will throw one exception because we have one spelling mistake over here, and in that way it will just fail for this second query. So now let me save this one and let me just change the values so that we will get idea over this one. So let me make it as XYZ and let me make it as PQR like this. So let me save this one, let me again rerun this code and let's see what happens on the console. So let me just use the option as a 7th option, and again we got the exception. Let me go to this SQL and let me see what happened. So let me use select star from, and yes, we are able to see these record XYZ, but we are not be able to see the record PQR because over this second SQL query it caught one exception. So this is why we need to perform the transaction, because my scenario was I need to perform these two transactions parallelly, but one transaction got failed and one transaction got successful. So in that case, what I want, if the two transactions are successful, then only I want to put the records into the table, and if one of these transactions gets failed, then I need to roll back all these things. So in that case we need to manage the transaction. So how we can do that? We just need to use some syntaxes and all. So over here by default, whenever we try to perform any JDBC query, by default it commits everything automatically. So in that way, first of all we need to disable that one. So how we can do this? Before performing any queries, we just need to use connection dot set auto commit, and inside the brackets we just need to pass the false like this. So we are just trying to say the JDBC like do not set do not commit everything automatically. Instead of just do not commit everything, and I'll just tell you when to commit like this. So we are just trying to communicate with the JDBC, and now we are able to set the auto commit as a false. So now we just need to use like when to commit everything, because at the certain point we just need to commit everything. So in this we just need to tell the JDBC like when to commit. So over here what I'll just do, I'll just write some conditions over here, like for example after this prepared statement and execute update, so it will give me some integer number, that number of rows affected. So let me use row 1 is equals to prepared statement dot execute update, and again for this second thing as well, so let me use row 2 is equals to like this. And if rows 1 greater than 0 and rows 2 greater than 0, then only I just want to commit the record. So what I'll just do, if row 1 is greater than 0, and if row 2 is greater than 0, then I just need to make it as connection dot commit, like this one. And now let me try to save this and let me see what happens over here. So again, let me just change the values and let me make it as, let's suppose instead of the XYZ, let me make it as Vikas, and instead of this PQR, let me make it as, let's suppose, Harsh, like this. And over here again we have the same mistake into this one. We have one insert query with the proper manner, and we have one insert query with some spelling mistakes. So now let me just try to execute the queries and let's see what happens. So let me choose the option as a seventh option, and again we got the exception. But let me go to my MySQL client and let me see what happened. So over here, no any records got saved, because we have said, like, if these two records are successful, then only commit everything, otherwise don't commit anything. So like that, that's why we are not be able to see the results. So now let me just go to this one and let me make it as correct, like let me make it as insert into student. Now let me just save this code and let me just run this code again. Let me choose the seventh option and let me go back to this one and let's see what happened. And again we are able to see the records like Vikas and Harsh. So we are able to see both of these records like this. So this is how we can manage the transactions. And again we have one more thing, like again we can commit the changes, and but if at all, if something goes wrong, we can roll back these changes as well. So we have this option as well. So again, inside this else block, let me make it as connection dot rollback. So again we have one method that is called as rollback. So rollback will take care, if in case something is changed in a database or table, it will roll back all the changes. So we have one more method that is called as a rollback in a JDBC. So now I hope you got an idea over this one and how we can perform the transaction and what is the use of transaction exactly, and how this how the transaction management is important. Like we seen we trying to perform some mistakes into this insert operation, and we seen how the transaction manage becomes very important when we are trying to perform multiple operations at the same time. So now I hope you got an idea around this transaction management in a JDBC, and I hope you enjoyed this session. We'll see you in the next session.